Hello guys, in this video we will see how to create custom animation transition between screens in React Navigation library. So basically we have two screens and second screen have set of card where we can pick the card and selected card transition from one screen to another. Looks quite interesting, so let's start. For this tutorial I prepared template with simple Stack Navigator and two screens. On second screens we have list of card and we can pick selected card which will be displayed on the first screen. So we have create Stack Navigator, index selected card index state, and these two screens. And I want to start with change of transition between screens. Right now it slides from right to left, and I want to just change of opacity. We can do this inside screen options. We need card style interpolator, which if we look in its types, is function which receiving different values. We are particularly interested in the current progress, which is React Native animated value. So let's have current and return object with card style property, and let's set opacity current progress value. Let's take a look. Now you see it's transition between screens with opacity change. I also would like to have a transparent background of second screen so we can see previous screen. For this we need set card style background color transparent, and also we need set mode of navigator model. And now you see all elements appeared on top of the first screen. Next thing what I want to do, I want to hide all elements except selected card. So let's go to our screen component and let's just have opacity 0 variable and use it for title. Let's actually wrap this piece. It will be useful later when we will animate this wrapper. So let's set opacity, and for list of cards let's set style opacity if card index equal index. This is selected card index. Then we set 1, otherwise use opacity variable. And now you can see it's only selected card. And what we want to do, we want to translate it somehow so it will be in the same position as in our main screen. So how we're gonna do this? We basically need to calculate the offset of all elements. So we have, let me go to this home screen component. We have container padding on the top, so it's spacing S16, it's basically value 16. Then we have this card height, then another offset 24 here in this view, the line height of this text, and another 16 offset. And we can send calculate this value and send to the next screen for the offset. And let's create the state for this. Name it card offset, set card offset, use state, and 0 for initial value. And actually, the problem here, we have dynamic height of this card because it has expand function. We can expand, collapse the card, and its height depends on the text, so it generates dynamically. To find out this height on runtime, we can use onLayout function. On expandable card layout, and we need to pass this to the props and apply to React Native view. Because this is from React Native View API. Also, I would like to apply collapsible false, because especially on Android, sometimes on the native side it can remove some views to optimize, and on layout function will not work correctly. It always it will be empty or something like this. So I always recommend to add collapsible false for views where we use onLayout. So let's back to our home screen. We receive event as a param. Card height will be event. I think native event layout height. Sorry. And we can set card offset as card height plus spacing x16 as top padding here. Then we have spacing s24 under the card. Then we have text component with styles and line height 0 s24. Let's replace it with constant, which is basically same. And after the title we have another offset. Now when we navigate to the next screen, we can set offset param with card offset value. On the list screen, we can get param from route. Card offset will be route params offset. And let's try to use it. Apply on the view which will wrap our cards. We will apply it with transform. Translate Y and set it card offset as a value. And you see it's appear lower than we need. And this is because on top of the cards we have some elements, so we need to subtract the padding. Also these two offsets, so, and also text component line height. Let's replace it with constant to be consistent. So we need to subtract this as well. And you see now it's appear on top of our card. And there is some blink. I think this is because we have background of the image wrapper. So just remove it. Okay, now the transition is smooth. We can continue animate elements on the home screen. And now I want to slide up and slide down elements on the home screen while transitioning, and for this we can use card animation hook from React Native navigation stack. And here we have same values as we have before in card style interpolator function. And here we need next. If we take a look, this represent values for the next screen. So we navigate to the second screen, and next to the second screen is our first screen. So let's create translate y up, which will be next progress interpolate. Input range of the next progress is from 0 to 1, and output range I would like to have from 0 to minus card offset, which we calculated previously. And I want to apply it to animated view. We need to import animated from React Native, wrap our top card, and style transform translate y up. So let's take a look, and you see when I transit between screens there is some error. Okay, I think this because on first screen render, or in some particular cases, next is not existed. So let's put default value for it. It will be 0. And now, well, one screen transition to another, our components slide up and from 0 to 1, and when we go back it goes from 1 to 0, so backward. And this is exactly what we want to see here. So I also want to slide this title, so maybe just move it to this wrapper. Okay, and I would like to slide down everything underneath the card. And for this I need to calculate the height of this area. So I can use same on layout technique as we used before. I can apply this here on layout. Down offset, something like this. And we will have event and offset will be event native layout, native event layout, sorry. And we want to know this Y position of this view, which is basically under the card. And we need to subtract this position from the window height, so we can use window dimension hook. And get window height. Let's use another state, bottom offset, and set bottom offset as height, which is window height, minus offset, or even just do like this. And here we can do basically the same, just have translate down, and output range will be from 0 to bottom offset. Let's take a look. Yeah, we need to apply this translate down value for animated view container. So transform, translate Y, translate Y down variable, and sorry, okay, I think looks great. We have translate everything we don't need up and down. And we can back now to the second screen, or screen with list of card. And I want to show hidden elements after screen transition end, so we can check React navigation documentation to find transition end event. Maybe you search, and there is example where we can use effect and do something on the transition and event happened. What I want to do, I want to change opacity in the animated way. So let's use React Native animated. And you see there is example of fade animation. So exactly what we need. Just use it. So we need import useref import animated from React Native. And switch view to animated view. Okay. And now run animated timing function on transition and event. Use opacity to value 1 and maybe 300 millisecond should be fine. Okay, this warning means we need set use native driver to the config. You can read about it in the React Native animated documentation. And you see after screen transition end, we run animated and our hidden elements appear. Also, I would like to translate our cards back to 0 position. So let's have card offset animated value. This we will rename to the card offset y, which will be actually our start value. And then card offset, we start animation to 0 value. So our cards will animate from this our offset to 0. And again we have error, I think, because the card offset is applied to normal view. We need to have animated view to use this value. Okay, it slides, but underneath we see previous screen and there is card on the previous screen. So let's hide it in the end of the transition. So go back to our home screen and create opacity, and in the very end of transition I would like to have switch from 1 to 0, and by default I want to have 1 value for opacity, and let's apply it to the animated view which will wrap our card. So style, opacity, and you see now it's nicely translate in the one direction. Back is not good yet, but what we want to do next, we need to fix something, because when we select different card, our offset is wrong. To fix this, we need go to the list card, and we actually have to subtract card height. So let's have some const like card height. I don't know yet. Card height multiply by index. So it will be 0 for 0 index, and then it should be card height. And what the card height, there is hard-coded value 215, and also we have some offset spacing. So card height plus spacing. Let's take a look, and you see when you pick different cards, it correctly slides depending on what is currently selected. And the last thing I wanna do, it's actually, if we change the height of this card, it's also working as expected. And last thing I wanna do, I want to have this back transition same as we have it on transition end. So let's remove navigation back from here, or actually let's create the function on card press, which will take card index as a param. Const on card press card index, and we will set index on card press, and once index is set, we can use effect to trigger animations in back direction. Like we want opacity go back from 1 to 0, and offset from 0 to card offset white, and on the animation end have navigation go back function. Let's take a look. And you see it's immediately in work because it's triggered immediately after first render. So let's add state. Where we can have flag the transition ended, set transition ended, use state false, so we can set transition ended true on the transition end event, and invoke this back only in case transition ended is set to true. And you see it's works nice, but actually it's not working when we press on the selected card because index the same and it's not triggered. So we can add condition if card index equal index, we will navigation go back, else we will set index, and not just go back, we need all these animations. So let's create go back function, and set it here as well. Yeah, works as we wanted. And the last thing I want to show you is the back button. It's not working. It's not triggered these back animations. So we want override back on press. So for do this, we can use this hook, use layout effect, header back button is header left, and header back button from it's automatically imported from React Native Stack library. And on press we can use go back function. We don't need title here. Let's take a look. Yeah, it works, but let's do same styling we have before. Tint color is black and label visible false. Okay, that's it. If you would like to support this channel, please subscribe, like, left comments. It will populate this video over YouTube search